Hey y'all, welcome to Witty Witty Banter.
I'm Monica.
And I'm Paola, and today we're bringing you some spicy takes. We're going to do some sweet, some mild, and some super spicy takes.
Yes, and this is actually the last spicy take
for
this season.
Yes, it is. So strap in because no Diddy.
But Diddy.
But Diddy. We are going to talk about Diddy because... Lord, that case is crazy.
Oh, goodness. So, cheers, amiga.
Cheers. We're going to get into it, y'all.
Oh, yeah. Let me go ahead and... Not sponsored, by the way.
Yes. But if you want to, Gatorade,
I know.
We're here.
Your girl has a shot immune system, so that's what we're dealing with right now. So, shout out to Alexa for getting me the Gatorade yesterday.
Aww.
We're just dealing with it.
Yes, girl. So how was your weekend before we get into the spicy?
I had a gig, and this was our first time performing at Longhorn Ice House in Dallas. And we had a really good time. Yeah. So shout out to Pancho Pistolas and everybody there.
Nice.
We really appreciate y'all giving us the opportunity.
Yeah, we met Pancho at one of our interviews when we first started the podcast almost a year ago.
I know, right? So Pancho was out there. There was a few people out there that came out, so I do want to say thank you to the family and friends that showed up. Mm-hmm. But your girl's been going through it since the last episode.
Dun, dun, dun.
Last week was hard. I don't think it was just like me. I think there was just a lot of people going through it last week. I don't know what was in the water, but something. Yeah, girl.
It was a hectic week and weekend. My weekend was really good. Spent it with family and friends. Yeah, it was great. Traveled to Cisco, Texas. If you don't know where that is, it's way, way past Fort Worth. So if you're in the Dallas area, it's about like 2 hours away from where I stay. It was actually 3 hours away, but it was an awesome experience because my cousin, she actually bought some land out there and is like building a cabin and like camping area for her and her family. And so her son, he turned 15.
Aww,
yes, it was like his little quinceañero type of party. Yeah.
He's a boy.
So quinceañero. Okay. So happy birthday, Eric. We had such a great time celebrating you. And it was just an amazing time to like just literally not even think about the world, because what's going on right now in politics, what's going on right now with the celebrities, with Hollywood, it's just like all of these things are coming out into the light, and it does stress me the fuck out. I'm not gonna lie, like that shit.
I had to detox from everything. Went to church.
Good.
And
because we need some Jesus in this.
Yeah, we do. We definitely do. And so if y'all are struggling with it mentally and kind of like,
girl, yes, like I had to take a social media break. Like I didn't really get on social media.
I can't do it right now.
Like it's too much. And then TikTok too. It's like everything. I feel like every single thing that you slide through is like fear mongering, World War III and blah blah blah. Like I feel so stressed just by being on social media. And then like it's a battle between like being happy for people living their life, but also like being stressed because we don't have tomorrow promised, and there's so much going on. So
I think one kind of like I like dark humor just a little bit, just a little bit, because it gets you through all the stupid stuff that's happening, right? So there was somebody, I think it was kind of like Pride Month, right? It's still going on, and so there was like a ballroom like competition between two people.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
What was it?
But the announcer at the beginning of it, he was just like, hey, don't pay your rent because you don't know what tomorrow is going to look like.
For real.
I was like, damn.
For real.
So, you have to combat with all the crap that's going on in this world, as well as like being with your family, enjoying that time, because like how you said, last episode, it's not promised.
Yeah. It's not promised.
I'm glad you got to do that.
Yeah. So definitely was able to go away from all the hecticness that is the world. Literally in the trees. Was able to ground myself and like say hello to the wilderness out there, which was really nice. And then on Sunday, I actually went to Denton. So, man, I've been traveling far back and forth, Lord. But I had a really good time with Christian and all his music friends from Denton, UNT. They do the Basically Bassy, which is basically they do bassy songs, which is like big band jazz type of songs, and they sight read and they're like playing so badass. It's such a good time. And then it's kind of like a little reunion of all the UNT musicians coming together. So I got to catch up with some old friends that I haven't seen in a while, and celebrated one of our friends' birthdays as well. Julian, happy birthday. Yay! Shout out to you. And Alice, she was so sweet. She like brought a big Sam's cake. She was saying like, ooh, oh, it's only $20. It was only $20. And I'm like, damn, worth every penny, baby.
It really is. Those cakes go
Sam's cakes go hard. I'm not gonna lie. I usually don't really like cake that much, but if it's a Sam's cake, I'm a bite into it.
There you go.
Best believe.
There you go. That cream on top, you know, the buttercream. That's what we like.
Yes.
But yeah.
So we got some sweetness this weekend. And
yes,
so it was good. It was good. I had a great time and happy to be back on the podcast again, talking about some spicy takes. Speaking of, we're going to start with Karol G's new album, Tropico Queta, which I listened to on the way to go to Denton. Me and Christian, we love Karol G. Like, we loved Mañana Será Bonito. We loved Ocean. We loved Mañana Será Bonito Bichota season. Like, we love Karol G. But this album, it kind of felt a little disjointed, a little like, I don't know, there was just too much going on. I loved every song, which is crazy because every song felt like a bop to me.
Right.
It felt like, oh so yeah, I can dance, I can do this and that, but it didn't feel like it was concise, or it didn't seem like a story was being like really told. Yeah, a theme or anything like that. Which,
so what's funny about us, right, is that we listen to it in a performance standpoint, or like not even a performance standpoint, but like a musician standpoint.
Yeah, definitely.
So you like it as the consumer, but as the musician, you're just kind of like, there are little things that just didn't get tied together.
Yeah, there were a lot of loose ends, I think. I get the idea that she was going for. Whenever I was in the car with Christian, I was like, how do you feel about this so far? Like, we were maybe like 12 songs in, maybe 13. And I was like, how do you feel about this song, about this album so far? Because for me, something feels a little off. Like, it just doesn't feel like a concise album. I don't know. Something is off. I don't know what to pinpoint what it is, but it's just not it.
I just know it's there.
Yeah. And it's like, I was like, damn, I don't want to be a hater, you know, like I love Karol G, but it just seemed like there was just too many genres, which I understand. I'm like a very logical type of person that I'm like, okay, I'm going to put myself in her shoes, see what happened, like what she was thinking or what was her thought process, right? And I went through and saw some interviews with her talking about this album and her defending the album. Basically, she wanted to pay homage to all of the countries that have supported her. And I literally told that to Christian before I even looked at these interviews. I was like, the only way I can back this up is if she says that she was honoring all of the countries that have supported her. Because I heard dembow, I heard cumbia, I heard vallenatos, I heard her regular reggaeton. Like, there was mariachi even in the album.
Oh, for real?
Yes, like there's mariachi in the album too. So it's just like, I know she really, loves the Mexican culture. So I was like, maybe she's, you know, paying homage that way.
Right.
And so, yeah, I read the Variety interview that she did. And she was basically saying that when she was touring in Europe, she could still see all these different flags from Venezuela, from Honduras, from Ecuador, like all of these different Latin American countries. And she was saying that that inspired her to put all of these genres in together.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. Not gonna lie, I love it. And every song on its own is like incredible, but together it just doesn't seem to be
it's almost
working.
like just a bunch of singles that get dropped all together.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, I haven't heard it just yet. My brother played the the English Spanish,
the bilingual one, Papacito,
and we were like, okay.
Yeah, it was like, interesting.
Don't get me wrong, like we can appreciate Karol G. I mean, she's fantastic. I mean, she's beautiful inside and out. So it's like, you know, it comes at a cost of like, if we're being loyalist to the fact that we just like her as a person, or if it's going along with the music, right? Because I know a lot of people, whenever they're like, oh, but it's just for example, oh, it's Billie Eilish, which to me, Billie Eilish is amazing too. But there's a lot of people that don't understand it, so they're just like, oh, well, you're just backing her because you've followed her all her career and that's it. I'm like, well, yeah,
I'm gonna be like, I am loyal to a fault. Like, I will literally back up all of my friends, my family, no matter what. But at the same time, you have to be a critical thinker.
Yep.
And if you're not critically listening to things, to actions, to whatever people are doing, the way they're moving, then you're blindly following these people and blindly being loyal to them. And like I said before, I love Karol G. Don't get me wrong. Like, I am a big fan.
We support her.
Yes, we support her.
Booth.
Yes, we do. But it just felt disjointed to me. I think that's the biggest criticism that I could give it. I didn't feel like the ideas flowed well together. I didn't think that the songs really connected to a central idea. A lot of the songs were about like men or heartbreak. There was one, Amiga Mia, that was like talking about forgetting about your ex-boyfriend and finding that support with your friend, right? Which, cool, I like that. But there didn't seem a lot of like really deep rooted themes, which I feel like she could give, if that makes sense.
Right, like almost like if it was rushed a little bit.
A little bit. And like even in the production side of things, I did like how she connected all of these different instrumentations, how she did execute all of the genres well. I will say that. Like, they were well executed, they were well produced. However, it just didn't seem as genuine as her Mañana Será Bonito, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I can see that for sure.
Yeah, but we're happy that she has a new album out. She also did talk that she wrote this and recorded this on the road while she was on tour.
Wow.
So I feel like that's why it does seem a little rushed, because she was doing this while she was touring.
Well, you also feel different emotions whenever you're performing in different places, right? So if you're writing on the road and you're recording on the road, what you felt in one place is not always what you're going to feel in the next place, you know? So now that's making sense.
Yes.
You know, so now it,
like, I can put myself in her thought process and like in her shoes, and I get it. Like, I can see why she decided to do all of these different genres. She had mariachi, dembow, reggaeton, cumbia, all of these different genres, which is amazing because she is showing her inspiration. She is showcasing her versatility. She is showcasing her background as an artist, as a person who comes from Colombia. And so she's really representing the Latina or Latino cultural, you know? So it's just like, I get that 100%, but it just didn't feel like normal Karol G, that is just like every song is hitting, every song you feel it, right? Every song you're just like, oh, I'm ready to drop. But no, it wasn't like that, unfortunately, for me personally. But again, I've only listened to it one time.
I'll have to listen to it. I'll give you my perspective maybe next season.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
I know. I only listened to it one time all the way through. So I know whenever you do the first listen, it's kind of like, oh, this is kind of, okay, weird. Let me figure out what's going on here. So this is just my thought after the first listen. So after, I'm going to listen to it again, get a little bit more warmed up with it and see how I feel after maybe 2 or 3 listens. Because I feel like you can't really feel everything just the first like cold listen. You're just kind of like, what the hell is this? You know?
No, for sure. Speaking of what the hell is this? We're bringing you back some updates on the Diddy trial.
Yes, guys. If you have not been keeping up with the Diddy trial, things have heated up. I think the prosecution is digging Diddy's grave because that he is a dead man walking at this point.
He is disgusting. And I said it earlier before the show, but I'm gonna be nice about it. Not really, but so the people that are a part of the jury were given like I think it was like a laptop or a tablet or something with headphones, so that the rest of the people on the outside couldn't hear the freak offs.
But they said that they could hear moans and music. And apparently 2 of the juries, they like visibly were disgusted and like you know, audibly gasping and crazy
shit. What's even more upsetting about that whole thing is that Diddy asked to see the footage that they're looking at. They put him into like, I guess like a private room, and he comes out licking his lips and, you know.
Yeah, no, he is definitely.
He knows what he did, man.
He is a sexual deviant, 100%. Like, I'm not the type of person who is going to ick someone's yum. If you're a freak, let your flag fly high.
Yeah, but make sure it's
legal.
Legal.
Because the thing that people are forgetting is that paying for sex is illegal, and that is exactly what he has been doing for decades at this point.
Well, also kidnapping too.
Kidnapping. There's kidnapping. There's arson. There is murder and moving substances across county lines. There is domestic violence. There is sex feudal type of violent crimes as well. So yeah, he is definitely going down for this. And I think about the R. Kelly. You mentioned R. Kelly.
Yeah, he just recently popped back up.
He did pop up because he got overdosed. Apparently, they were giving him medication, and he had to go rush to the hospital because he allegedly was drugged by the patrols. And they're saying now that they're trying to kill R. Kelly. So who knows?
This late in the game, he's been in jail all this time. They're now just barely going to kill this guy.
Right. I mean, I wonder if they're connected with Diddy. I have no idea.
At this point, everything just seems very tied together.
Holly weird. Capital letter on that. Weird.
I mean, let's not go too far. Before we started the podcast, I just told you that Fat Joe is in his own little accusations of having sex with a minor. I feel like
this is just the tip of the iceberg, and a lot of more artists and celebrities are going to be accused of all these things. It's kind of like a resurface of the Me Too movement, wherever one person talked, then a whole bunch of other people are coming forward. So I feel like people are feeling more valiente, I guess, brave, feeling more brave, coming out to tell all of their, dirty laundry, because no more.
Yeah.
No more.
I mean, it gets to a point, right? It gets to a point where you can't go back. No. You got to push forward. So
back to the Diddy.
Oh, Lord.
The prosecution is resting their case on Monday. So they have, by this point, they've already said, we're done with all our witnesses. We're done pushing our case out. Now it's the defense turn to talk about Diddy, to defend Diddy in his case, because right now they're saying that he just lives the swinger lifestyle. However, you buying sex for your partners is not the swinger lifestyle.
Hold the hell on.
That's their case.
Swinger lifestyle.
Their case is that Diddy is enjoying a swinger lifestyle. For the people who don't know what swingers are a consensual, consensual, for the people in the back, where they exchange their partners openly and sexually. So in this case, Diddy would pay for male sex workers to do the deed with his partners, aka Cassie, aka Jane, which allegedly people are speculating that it is 50 Cent's baby mama. Okay. Allegedly.
And we already know how 50 Cent works. We already know how petty he can be.
You already know. That's why, that was just another freaking block in his wall of defense against Diddy. Because, Jane, they're calling the last witness that just got off of the last witness was actually Brandon Paul, which was the guy who got caught in the airport with drugs. I don't know if you guys saw that footage. It was this white guy who got stopped by the people who checked the
TSA.
The TSA, yeah. He got stopped by TSA and then got arrested. And he just now got off the witness stand on Friday and said, I am not a drug mule. I was carrying Diddy's drugs, because he had just finished cleaning a hotel room after a King's night. That's what he used to call.
So much work.
And so he's saying, he's going on the stand saying that I am not a drug mule. I do not do this professionally, right? I am here because Diddy asked me to bring these drugs. And so if Diddy is my employer and he's paying for my mortgage, he's paying for my food, he's paying for all these things, he is saying that he is not guilty, and obviously he has immunity, otherwise he would have been right next with Diddy.
Yep, there you go.
So he was able to get immunity and dish it all out. So I think that definitely put the nail in the coffin. So the witness before Brandon Paul was this woman that they're calling Jane, as in Jane Doe, so that she does not get publicly ridiculed or attacked, because she is someone famous. Okay. The only reason why they didn't cover up Cassidy Ventura's name in the press, or Kid Cudi when he went up on the stand, they did not cover that, is because their names, one, Cassidy was already had sued Diddy and had settled already. So they called her back so that she could really tell the story in this case. And then Kid Cudi didn't get, censored or anything like that, because Diddy, he had already sued Diddy for like exploding his car. Exploding his car.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason. Yeah. That's the only reason why those people weren't covered.
Oh, Lord.
Mm-hmm. But Jane had the dirtiest stuff on Diddy, because she was basically turned, like, it was his girlfriend turned into basically a sex slave. So she detailed how she was in love with him, and he would tell her like, oh, if you love me,
you'll do this,
you'll do this. And then eventually it got to the point where he's like, if you don't do this, I'm not paying for your house no more. If you don't do this, I'm cutting you off. And the craziest thing to me is that they used to call each other crack pipe as like their pet name. Hello, crack pipe. Come here, crack pipe.
So cute.
So demure. Definitely not mindful, but holy moly.
Crack
so
pipe.
So she was like, yeah, we would call each other crack pipe because we're just addicted to each other. And it's just like, there's so many other things.
Might as well call her Crystal and the other one Meth. Like,
literally,
what the hell is going on?
And so yeah, she went on the stand and detailed all of the sex crimes that he did on her. Two sex workers actually went on the stand and also detailed their experiences with Diddy, and they did say that at first they didn't know it was Diddy because he would like cover his face. And so if he thought it wasn't illegal to do these things, do you think he would really be showing his face? Or, like, he knew what he was doing was wrong, and so he would just like stay in the back and just watch them perform, and eventually would join in and do all those different things. So yeah, it is a very, very sticky situation, no pun intended. Because yeah, all of these people are coming out against Diddy saying that he was involved in illegal things. And so that's why he is being charged with a RICO case, because he was using his company's money to pay for these drugs, to pay for these illicit acts. So that's the reason why he's going under RICO, because he was the top of his enterprise and he was making people do things for money. Or moving.
This is mob type shit.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. And so it becomes heavy very quick, because you just imagine like one person doing all of this stuff, telling people to act a certain type of way, or else they're not gonna get food on their table, essentially. And it's like, Diddy really is a monster. Like, he is a narcissistic monster. That's my take on that, because he needs to go down.
You know who's another monster that we got going on?
Who? We got a lot of them.
But not my president, Donald Trump.
Oh my gosh, you know what I had the epiphany of? The prophecy. Have you ever seen the video? Goddamn 47. Goddamn 47. How many states do we have? Goddamn 47. We'll have to bring up that video for people who don't know.
We'll basically,
here we had a so basically back in like 2013, there was a video. This guy was interviewing different people to see if they knew how many states we had in America, in the United States.
Oh.
And so then he interviews, I think it was a woman, at the mall, and he's like, how many states do we have? And she's like, doing the calculations, like, and she's like, goddamn 47.
We got 13 colonies, so 13 minus 50. 13 minus 50, goddamn 47.
And I was like, wait, I asked Christian on our way to Denton on Sunday. I was like, wait, what president, what number is he? Like, what was the number when he first got elected? He was like, I think it was 45. And I was like, oh, okay. So then 45, 40. He is goddamn 47. The prophecy
has been fulfilled.
Because the person obviously was showing that they were not very smart. And now our president, our 47th, our goddamn 47th president is also showing that he is not the smartest man alive, you know. If I can say it any more nice. He is just not the smartest person in the room, okay?
No, I mean, there's so much crap going on with that. People are getting arrested or kidnapped. It's not even arresting.
Yeah.
Like, they have no warrants. They have no papers. Even if you are, we're getting arrested, y'all. Like, by ICE or kidnapped by ICE.
Kidnapped, yeah, really.
Citizens. Citizens, U.S. citizens are getting kidnapped every single day. You have people in Congress, like senators and council people, that are getting arrested or taken for no reason, you know. And then
whenever I don't even remember the head chief of ICE, the immigration chief, the lady, the ugly ass lady that does I don't remember her name, but she was doing a press conference and a senator walked in, Alex Padilla, and again, he is a Mexican senator, so he went up there of that state yes. And so he goes and he's trying to like ask a question, literally ask a question, and he was like, I'm Senator Alex Padilla and I have a question, what do you plan on you know, and he got escorted out, and that's nicely. Escorted is not even the right word.
Not even just standing. They pushed him to the floor and handcuffed him like a criminal, you know? And even then, that's not even right for criminals. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he got taken away. There's people that are getting killed.
Yeah.
There's people that are getting or almost like dying because other people are trying to take it into their own hands. Everything that's going on with Iran right now. And I mean, again, you know, we talked about this in past podcasts where I was saying, you know, like, it's a scary time.
It is a scary time.
It's a scary time because it's just like, I think one of the main things that I'm noticing as we're like performing, right? And I don't know if you notice this too, but less people are going out.
Yes.
Less people are going out to the shows. Less people are going out to Traders Village. Traders Village was empty this last week. I just saw it on my phone. And I mean,
shoot. Yeah.
People are afraid. Even the people that are from here, that have lived here their entire lives, everybody's afraid, dude. So it's, I mean, this is why this one is like the hottest topic that we have, is because it's a scary time. And like how you were saying, you had to take a social media break.
Yes, because they are like, not saying that they're purposely fear mongering. I don't think that's the case. But whenever you hear a lot of different people saying this, and that, and like misinformation is another big thing why I don't really enjoy TikTok, because there's just a lot of misinformation on there.
Yeah.
People be posting different things. Like the last thing I saw before I was like, okay, I'm done with TikTok right now. I'm not gonna go in. Somebody had posted like a nuclear targets, and they were saying like,
this is where
they're gonna hit, but they didn't say that map was actually from when Russia got their nuclear bombs. So they're throwing misinformation out there
to scare
other people, when in reality, like, yes, Iran is a threat because they are publicly burning the American flag. They are publicly saying death to America. That is a fact. 100% that is a fact. So they are a threat. However, people are exponentially making it bigger because they're saying, oh, they're going to bomb us. They're going to bomb us. But technically, they're working on the nuclear bomb, which, yes, we do need to stop them because obviously they're saying that death to America. But I don't think it needs to go as far as us entering the war to stop them.
Yeah.
Because it's not really our war to enter at the first place, but we already put ourselves in the middle. Like we've seen it in the past, like Vietnam. That was not our war to freaking fight.
And here we go.
And here we are again, fighting wars that aren't ours. And domestically, we need to be focusing on what's happening here.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my take on that, because it's like, yes, it is scary. It is concerning to know that there is a country that does not like us, which
I think there's multiple countries.
Which we have a lot of countries that don't like us
now even more so. It was very quiet back in the times, if it was at all any kind of hatred or any kind of dislike. But now no,
the floodgates are open.
Yeah, you know, and it destroys so much of the history and so much of the freedoms between different, you know, countries, the likeness, I guess you can say. But yeah, it's a very scary time. There's a lot of people that are not going out anymore.
Yeah.
We're gonna say it. We always say it. Know your rights.
Do your research.
Do your research. Protest if that's, you know, your thing and you can do it and you're willing to do it.
And something that we haven't mentioned is, like, if you can't protest, if you can't like to go out in the field and do it, like, there's other ways, like sharing information that is correct after you have done your research, sharing the correct information, and also donating to the different organizations who are at the front of this movement. So it's like any little penny actually goes a very long way.
Very much so. So y'all be careful out there. I know, you know, of a lot of our, you know, Latinos out there are very scared.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not just us. There's people that are getting arrested that are not even Hispanic descent or, you know. So y'all just be careful. Know your rights. Know what you need to do and
have a plan. Just like our interview with Rosa Maria.
Yeah.
So definitely, if you haven't checked that out, check that out. She had a lot of really amazing tips for everybody who is going through this, you know, and know how you can help your neighbor, basically.
Yep.
Yeah. With that being said, take care of each other. Take care of yourself. We have one more episode for this season coming up next week, which is going to be our memory lane. Yeah. We're celebrating a year of witty banter.
Yeah. What was it?
So make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Instagram and TikTok, and go ahead and listen to us on Spotify if you have Spotify as well. We love you guys. See you next time. Bye.